challenge of championship racing comes the one-off individual challenge. In the last 7 years, the battleground for record-taking has really lain on the waters of the Atlantic, with Italy and Great Britain fighting desperately to wrest away the blue ribbon from the United States of America. 1992 sees a new challenge from the Drambuie Tantalus. The crew of this extraordinary machine are challenging for the Round Britain circumnavigation record. The current record stands at 72 hours, established in 1989 by the Island Voyager. Now this deep V hull is setting out once more to attempt a new record-breaking run. It'll be a major test of machine and the men who will run her.
We'll be coming to the worst part of the whole route journey here as we come out clear of the islands, round Cape Wrath and down into the Pentland Firth. And this stretch here, I think even if it's calm weather, it's going to be nasty because the tide runs through there at 6, 7, 8 knots.
Throttleman, navigator, pilot and mechanic will be pushed along through the water by these 4 12-litre Caterpillar diesels. Turbocharged, they rely upon a computerized fuel management system. And while the waters look calm here, around the treacherous Scottish coast, all 4 team members will be needed if disaster is to be avoided. The boat itself consumes 150 gallons per hour. With a 2,500 kilometre course, complex management systems and controls are required if the team stands any chance at all of beating the record. The Throttleman is American Eddie Morenz. He's raced most of his life, since he was 12 in fact. Home for him is the glamorous world of the American movies with experience in Miami Vice and Baywatch. But the real experience for this trip comes from the many years with Mercury Marine as test driver on their secret test center at Lake X. On board with Eddie Morenz will be the highly experienced Dag Pike, former world offshore powerboat racing champion and navigator on board Virgin Atlantic Challenger 2, the successful 1986 Blue Ribbon run. The circumnavigation of the United Kingdom is a race with only one entrant, competing against time. It is the epitome of endurance powerboating, the aim to power continuously around the United Kingdom's 1,500-mile coastline, stopping only to refuel. The challengers like Drambuie Tantalus must survive gales, dangerous seas and floating debris in their attempt. Official timekeepers from the Royal Yachting Association must watch every aspect of the challenge. 1989 saw the last successful completion of this course in Elan Voyager. The distance completed in 72 hours and 47 minutes. A total of 6 official attempts have been made to date. But will Tantalus survive the challenge? And if they can, how much time will they remove from the existing record? Already, 2 challengers from this attempt have had to retire in 1992. One during an actual run, the other in testing. Dag Pike has the responsibility of finding the fastest and most efficient course around the United Kingdom.
I think it's a bigger challenge than going across the Atlantic. You know, I've done a few Atlantic crossings in my time, but the navigation going around Britain is much, much harder than going across the Atlantic. And when you start on the Atlantic, you just leave the land and you don't see anything for 3,000 miles. But here, we are close to the land the whole time. We have to concentrate, and it's 2 days and 2 nights of totally changing conditions. It's a big challenge, and you know, even at my age, I still enjoy the challenge to do something that nobody's ever done before, or faster than anybody's ever done before.
And for Eddie Morenz?
The boat is actually a computer-controlled and computer-operated boat. Technically, it could run without us. This boat is a state-of-the-art when it comes to computer operation, and the motors are totally computer-operated, computer-controlled. They are developmental motors that Caterpillar is developing for future use. The boat does have autopilot, runs off global positioning system, GPS, tracking radars, complete engine management systems, electrolysis management systems, water systems. So yes, when it comes to state-of-the-art, the boat is as current as you can possibly get it anything.
In order to have any chance of beating the existing record, the team must power through the waters around the UK day and night, battling against the elements. They have 5 refueling points, 2 in England, 1 in Wales and 2 in Scotland. So will they make the challenge? 4 men, 4 engines, 4 propellers and 1 boat. Last week we looked at the Round Britain attempt. Dag Pike and his team with this phenomenal boat, Drambuie Tantalus, and an extraordinary challenge for the Round Britain record, which has been successfully won. All the team knew before they started on this adventure that the problems of navigation around the tricky northern coastline of Scotland would provide them with a challenge which may end in disaster. But not so this time. After 5 refueling points successfully negotiated around the coast of England, Wales and Scotland, Drambuie Tantalus has succeeded in their attempt. The 4 Caterpillar engines with Mercruiser drives successfully powering them around the coastline. But how long will this record stand for? In recent years, 6 attempts have been made to break the record, not all of them successful. 1992 has seen a failure from 2 challenging boats, but not so for Drambuie with this successful run. Having sliced a large margin off the standing record, will Dag Pike and his American counterpart be tempted to return to the shores of Great Britain and make yet another challenge? And will indeed this successful run attract more boats to have another crack at the Round Britain title?